I do. Sometimes I do like the seal claw.
Oh, my belly's just hanging out.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to a very special little, what would you call it, vignettes or mini-series of the Tim and Rinny Show?
Mini-series, sub-series.
Sub-series. We wanted Snippets. We wanted to just sit down and do a little...
Walk down memory lane.
Yeah. All Kona. So we want to share some of our memories from Kona. Hopefully some that haven't been really talked about in the press a lot. Mm-hmm. So I will ask you what it felt like when you got off the bike 14 and a half minutes down.
Yeah, no.
We've heard that
Take
before.
me back.
So we're gonna have a couple little just shows, and we'll each think of a moment, and then just of the other's racing career in Kona, and then just let them go from there. So I'm gonna get the ball rolling with Rin.
Oh, I thought I was starting, but okay.
No, I want to. Yeah, no. Starting you means you. Go
I'm
first.
asking you. Okay.
No. I'm going to ask you about you first.
Okay.
She has been the queen of Kona many times, so I think she should go first.
A few times.
We were just talking 3-time world champion, but we never talk about the fact that you've been in the top 5 8 times, which is crazy. And 10 starts, right? Mm-hmm. So that's pretty amazing. I want to go back to 2011. So you had won in 2010. Chrissy, I think she pulled out right before the race.
In 10, yep.
Yeah. You and Dibbs had a little psychological warfare going on, but I was sick, and I was cheering you on the side of the road. I was with my parents, and you were coming back, about to go up Palani. You just come off of Alihi, so you're 9 miles in? Mm-hmm. And you just said, I'm effed. You're like, I'm effed. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even know what to say. I was like, just go.
Yeah, you got this, honey.
So I don't know if do you remember that moment? And then put us into that moment and share some thoughts with us.
I don't specifically remember that moment, and I hope I didn't swear in front of your parents.
You did. That was the second time they met her too.
So great.
That's okay. Their hearing's not very good. They probably didn't hear.
But yeah, 2011 was mentally a tough year. I mean, after winning in 2010, I celebrated a little too much and a little too long, and took too many of the opportunities that came for me. And going back, I don't know if hindsight's 2020. I would change things, but in that moment, I don't think I'd change much, because you never know if you're ever going to be able to be the Queen of Kona ever again. And that was second time racing an Ironman, second time in Kona, and winning that race, and just being oh my goodness, this is everything I've ever dreamed of, and it's already happening. And I don't know if it's ever going to happen again. And so I had more sponsors, more appearances, and more opportunities. And I took more. I kind of wanted to do everything, because I didn't know if I'd ever win again. And so looking back, I know I didn't focus 100%. In 2010, my focus was perfect. I was, all that mattered was the training, getting the training done, making the steps so that I could be in perfect shape in October. And in 2011, I was more worried about just having a good time and enjoying.
You were still.
Yeah, I mean,
you were in good form.
I was definitely in good form, but I just know my focus wasn't as on point as it was in 2010. And then I get to Kona, and yes, I was in great shape, and I'd had a good year. I'd won some races, and I had done some great training. But I don't feel that I didn't race better than what I did in 2010, and my goal was always to do better than I did before, and get the best out of myself. So that, for me, I look back at that race and I'm I'm disappointed in myself for not having the discipline to just keep at the number one goal, which is always to just see how fast I could go in Kona, regardless of the field. And then that year was a crazy year. Julie Dibbins got off the bike with a massive lead, like a 22-minute lead. She was injured. she was, sorry, Izzy's in the background. She was, had a pretty bad foot injury, which we didn't know the extent of, but we kind of guessed that she kind of emptied the tank on the bike, and it was clear early in the run that she wasn't.
She was flying on the bike.
She was amazing.
Yeah.
So she ended up pulling out, but still I got off the bike a couple of minutes down from Chrissy and 22 minutes or something down from Julie. And we're like, how did this happen? But then Julie ended up pulling out early in the run on the Lee Drive, so maybe like only 10k, 15k in, early in the run. And then it was basically, I don't even remember what position I was in off the bike. All I remember is Julie was really far ahead. Chrissy was a couple of minutes ahead of me. And I didn't feel great that day. In 2010, I had one of those days that come along a couple of times in a career where everything felt great. I had an amazing swim. I was sort of in control all day.
A couple of times in Hawaii for you.
Yeah, a couple of times in Hawaii it's happened, fortunately.
That's not a coincidence.
Well, preparation. Preparation, but also it's still very hard to get that special day on the right day. I just remember it was just a battle. And
how far down were you from Chrissy?
I don't think I was many minutes, because I think she ran well. Yeah. She broke my run course record, and then I went like 30 seconds faster than her. I think it was like in the 2:53 range.
I think you ran 2:52s.
2:52, 2:53. But she ran and broke my run course record from 2010, and then I ran like 30 seconds or 40 seconds faster than her. But I think she had 90 seconds to 2 minutes off the bike, so we basically ran almost the same marathon. And but I just remember suffering all day out there. But still coming away with second place. Obviously happy with that, but also mixed feelings, because I don't feel like I prepared as well as I could have.
But it might have fueled you for the next 2 years.
Totally, and I think I learnt a lot from that year. And so 13 and 14, who knows if they would have happened if I'd won in 10 and 11, I probably would have been ready to retire. No, just kidding. So that was kind of 2011 for me.